Hi to all bodybuilding and fitness enthusiasts out there, and thanks for tuning in to this week's question and answer. This week's question I got from Scott McVicker from Ireland. Thank you, Scott, for the question. And it is something that concerns a lot of people, I think. And Scott actually would like to know what is the biggest difference between off-season training and pre-contest diet training. Okay, Scott, maybe here I'm a little bit unconventional in my answer, but I truly believe that actually during your pre-contest, during your diet, the biggest focus has to be on trying to maintain strength, okay? Because in the off-season you have excess calories, usually a lot of carbs. You have more rest, more sleep, because with more food you can sleep better, so your sleeping patterns are better. You have more strength. Usually you do less cardio or no cardio. Your cortisol levels are usually lower because of your insulin levels are higher, because your carbs intake is greater. So you're in an anabolic state. And therefore, I usually suggest that we can keep, or my clients can keep, rest in between sets pretty short. Even sometimes go down anywhere from 30 to 45 seconds, because the blood flow will be great to the muscle. You're going to have a great pump. And even by reducing a recuperation time in between sets, actually you're going to still have enough strength to build muscle. Now during your diet, what happens is you decrease calories, so you give your body less calories than what it needs. So actually what's going to happen is that if you don't pay attention, you're going to lose strength really fast. Also, you're going to sleep less, because with less food, with hunger, actually your sleeping patterns are going to be less effective and you're going to have less sleep. Also, your central nervous system is going to be more stimulated, so your cortisol levels are going to be higher. You reduce your carb intake, so your insulin levels are going to be lower. Therefore, it's much more difficult to stay in an anabolic state. So therefore, in this phase, I always suggest that at least 2/3 of that training will be concentrated on strength. I know you're on diet, I know it is difficult, but if you can keep your strength levels as high as possible, even as high as off-season, you're going to maintain your muscle mass much more easier. So try to increase your recuperation time in between sets from the off-season, okay? Try to be above 1 minute of recuperation time, even with small muscle groups. So in the off-season, you can concentrate, you can reduce your recuperation time and even have some muscle stimulation. And 2/3 of your training in pre-contest, I always suggest that be concentrating on trying to maintain your strength that you built in the off-season, so to increase recuperation time. The last 1/3 of your training, you can actually go with some supersets, some intensity techniques, and try to get a better pump at the end of the training, which is more difficult to get during your diet, but try to focus on strength. Maybe the only exception that would be quads. Quads is actually very resistant muscle, and it is important that, okay, you need to keep your strength, but it needs more work, needs more detail work, you need some lunges, you need some supersets, for example, leg extension lunges, you need some glute work, so it needs a lot of work in order to get those details that you want to have on stage. But for the rest of your muscles, try to focus on strength. This is my tip of the week, and the biggest difference in between pre-contest and off-season or off-season pre-contest is really try to maintain your strength. Most people try to go too much with high repetition and trying to get definition that way. It's not going to work. You're going to get definition, you're going to lower your body fat percentage because you have caloric restriction, because you reduce your carbs, because you have a good diet, and not because you do more repetitions. More repetitions are just going to cause strength loss and actually muscle size. So my tip of the week, and thank you, Scott, for your question, is try to maintain strength in the off season, at least in the pre-contest, at least 2/3 of your training to be concentrating on maintaining your strength. Shout out to everybody. Peace.